Dr. Peter Glidden here. Before we get into the live chat, wanted to take a minute to give you my weekly rant. Antidepressant sales, 2014 numbers. 2014 numbers. You ready for this? At the global market in antidepressant sales, and 2 years ago was 14.51 billion. That's in U.S. dollars, and by 2020, it's within 3 years. 3 years and 4 months, more or less, expected to generate a revenue of $17 billion by the end of 2020. $17 billion by the end of 2020. Sales of antidepressants. Now, you need to think this through because nobody thinks these things through. Why don't we think these things through? Because we don't have any perspective on them. Thank God for Novocaine. Thank God for the sterile technique. Thank God for certain medications. It's not the drug, it's how it's used. Medical doctors, when they use antidepressants, are like children playing with fire. The intention of the antidepressant prescription is to radically alter the biochemistry of the brain in a very particular way, Very much like throwing a chain into an enormous set of gears and keeping your fingers crossed and hoping that you get the desired outcome. The biochemistry of the brain is an unbelievably complex system, Science has just recently discovered that there's an intimate relationship between the health of the gut and the bacteria, the beneficial bacteria that are living in the gut and the brain. It is a holistic phenomenon. Medical doctors also believe that consciousness itself is a function of biochemistry, that the body comes first and then consciousness comes second. Consciousness is a function of biochemistry. So when somebody is depressed, therefore they must have brain chemistry that's not optimized, that's unusual, that needs to be tweaked. And what does the doctor do? Does the doctor attempt to cure it? No, the doctor does not attempt to cure the depression. The doctor attempts to orchestrate a hostile takeover of brain chemistry by introducing a synthetic man-made drug sold to the patient at a profit, the intention of which is to alter dramatically a very small component of this enormous system-wide system of biochemical interactions. They have no problem doing this. Even when research shows that placebo is more effective at helping people feel better than Prozac, they're still going to feel unconcerned, unconflicted about prescribing Prozac, which does in fact alter the chemistry of the brain. Now, you don't have to be a rocket scientist. You don't have to know even how to spell biochemistry. You don't really need to know very much about anything other than common sense. If you attempt to alter this system, this unbelievably complex system with a man-made pharmaceutical, the intention of which is not to support and promote the body's ability to fix itself because the medical doctors believe that's a fiction. But if their intention is to exert a hostile takeover of the biochemistry of a small part of the brain, keep their fingers crossed and see what happens, then would you not anticipate that there could be consequences? Would you not anticipate that there could be unintended consequences, collateral damage? Would you not expect that to happen? Well, yes, that's exactly what does happen. So this is why on the label, right on the box of many antidepressants, is the warning that these medications can cause suicide. People taking them can start to become suicidal. Now, why is this? Because the biochemistry of the human body is an unbelievably complex thing, and the medical doctor just into this complex system willy-nilly comes in with a shotgun, throws a chain into the gears, keeps their fingers crossed. And oh, if people become suicidal, well, that's just the progress of science. It's not the progress of science. It's a direct indication that your therapeutic is flawed, but the medical doctors cannot bring themselves to believe that what they do is wrong. They can't do it. It can't be the doctor's fault. It has to be the patient's fault. Oh, the patient had the bad gene. The patient was lazy. I can't tell you how many medical doctors I've spoken to who blame the patient. Oh, we wouldn't have so much heart disease. We wouldn't have so much obesity if people just took care of themselves. It's nonsense. The reason that these illnesses are escalating is because the therapeutics that the medical doctors bring to the table, the idea, the notion, the medical philosophy that the MDs are trained in is wrong. It's incorrect. It's great for surgery, for trauma care, and a handful of infectious diseases, which are the epitome of reductionism. Oh, there's a bullet in the arm, heaven forbid. Doesn't get more reductionistic than that. But when into this complex system of the human being, you dump a man-made synthetic drug, the intention of which is to change the biochemistry of the brain, you're going to have collateral damage. And we've all become okay with this as a culture. Oh, antidepressants, suicide is a side effect. Oh, no problem. Sign me up. I'll take 2. Give me 3. 1 for the wife, 1 for the kid. 1 for me. Robin Williams dies of suicide while he was taking antidepressants. Rob Schneider, one of his friends, raised the alarm. Said, oh, you know, they increased his meds right before he died. And what does Hollywood do with that information? Nothing. It's bad out there, ladies and gentlemen. Capital B, capital A, capital D. The best possible thing you can do if you're suffering with a chronic health concern is fire your medical doctor now and hire your naturopathic doctor now, or better yet, hire me. Come to my website, glidden.healthcare. Glidden.healthcare, right there. Become a subscriber to my online self-help health recovery system and find out how you can get your body into the game of healing, your body-mind into the game of healing, perhaps for the first time in your life. I am your steadfast advocate for health, Dr. Peter Glidden. Thanks for your attention. I'll see you around campus.